Well, congrats on the win. That was super tough derby. What were your overall thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I thought they brought unbelievable contest and pressure in the first half in particular. Thought they were really up for it and defended us really well and didn't give us much. And I thought, I said to the players after the game, I was really proud of our maturity, be able to work our way through that and slowly get the game on our terms, and started by getting the game played in the right area in our front half, whereas probably the first quarter and a half, large parts of the first half in particular, was played at their end, and they were forcing us into mistakes and they were scoring from that. And we were just slowly able to get the game played on our terms in the right end, and then we started capitalising on the scoreboard, and thought the third quarter was dominant. Start of the last quarter was pretty dominant, and I was really proud of the maturity we showed to be able to work through that, because if you go back to the first derby, we weren't able to work through that. And just really proud of the way the players responded.
How much has the team matured since that first derby?
Oh, it's, a lot. It's hard to put a figure on it, and just feel like we're growing, every week. And that's the goal of the season and goal of footy, isn't it? Like, just keep continually growing and learning from experiences, good and bad. And when you're in those situations again and you're getting challenged, you can respond in a different way. And I thought they were really connected. And when we're really connected, we go into a problem-solving mode rather than fighting our own battle mode. And at half time they were problem-solving and working their way through it really well.
You've talked about you've been worried they've internalised on the field in games. Could you see that not happening this time and recognise the traits that you wanted to see that allowed them to get out of it mid-game?
Yeah, it's a hard one to summarise, because it's the team becomes and it always is a product of every individual. And we talk about making sure that we have enough individuals on the right side of the seesaw, so it tips in our favour. And I thought we had that. There would be some moments of guys internalising, but the weight of numbers was in our favour. And when you got the weight of numbers in your favour, problem solving, keeping the other guys in the game, you're able to respond. And I thought, we got that.
Talk about Caleb and his performance. Did you get another medal for him?
Yeah, well, he's a star. He prepares consistently every week. He continues to work on his game week in, week out. Then, he's becoming a better player week in, week out. He's had a phenomenal season. Thought he had a fair few alongside him today, and I thought him and Andy, when they were pretty dominant, those two boys, just kept at it, and they were two outstanding performances from our vice captains today.
So from a leadership perspective, Pierce, they've stepped up a couple of times this year now as the captains to do that job. What's been the key to that being able to occur each time Alex is out?
Like I've said before, I don't think they changed too much. They've been outstanding all year and for a few years with their leadership and their performances. So I'm not sure. They've had a little bit more responsibility in terms of tossing the coin and talking to the team before the game and that type of thing, which they've embraced and approached really well. But their leadership, when Piercy's there, is really good. So it probably puts a bit more weight on others below them in the leadership group and guys that aren't in the leadership group to step up. And I think we're seeing that. I think Luke Ryan's leading the back line really well in Piercy's absence, with a pretty young back line at times. And Clarkey, who's become a bit of a senior member of our back line, and Coxie's getting better week in, week out. Those guys have probably had to step up a little bit more. So, I think Caleb and Andy have been pretty strong all along.
Sean Dustin, we saw him go down with a couple of knocks. How was he after those, and how did you view his game afterwards?
I thought it was a pretty good battle in the ruck. You're not always watching the ruck contest, but I thought it was a pretty good battle in there. And I thought Sean grew as the game went on, and I thought he responded after he got a couple of early knocks. He got to have a pretty sore shoulder tomorrow. There's nothing structurally wrong, but it was pretty sore there for a bit. And I thought him and Jacko, as the game grew, they were able to give our mids first use and allowed us to be a little bit more proactive around there.
There was a fair bit of spice in the game. I guess when did you realise that it was going to be a pretty fight feisty derby?
Oh, pretty early on. Yeah. Oh, and at times it spilled over, and that's what happens when both teams are having a crack. And I thought, like I said earlier, I thought their pressure and their ability, their effort in the contest was outstanding in the first half. I didn't think we were below their level, but they forced us into a contest a lot by defending us really well. And like I said, I felt like that was a finals game. So that'll hold us in really good stead going forward.
You've been chasing, I guess, a consistent performance through a game. How did today measure up?
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. I mean, there's times we got stuck in our back half and didn't handle their pressure in their front half, in our back half, the pressure they were applying to us. But as far as our ability to stay connected and play the footy with the right mindset, I thought we were pretty consistent today against they picked a pretty mature team. I think they were older than us, and their physicality was great. So, like I said, our ability to work our way through that and then get the game on our terms, and pretty dominant second half. I thought it showed a real level of maturity.
Your ability to take the ball from defensive 50 to forward 50, you did kick several goals from that, and the risk taking was really high when you were doing it. What's been the key for players to have the confidence to keep taking the risks and themselves to get out of trouble when they're under the pump?
Yeah, and that's what maybe has happened at times when we've felt the opposition's pressures. We've gone away from that and we've gone a bit skinny and turned boundary instead of turning corridor, and that's where the growth's been, like being able to play our way no matter what the opposition's bringing and trusting ourselves in those moments. So, I thought we had some great moments in that, even in the first half when their pressure was at its greatest, when we were able to challenge them through the corridor and get to the outside. We didn't always find the next handball which would have opened the game up, but when we talk about four-quarter performance, they're the things that we're talking about, because that becomes really predictable to us. And when we're really predictable to each other, our offence opens up, but we usually have numbers if it turns over and we can defend behind it, and we look a lot safer behind the ball when we're predictable to each other.
Harley Reid was so crucial to firing up West Coast. How did you kind of assess the team's ongoing battle with him, both game-wise and then physicality-wise as well?
I thought it was a good midfield tussle all around. Harley was good in the first half, and his ability to break tackles and fend off, and for a first-year player is pretty phenomenal. But I thought Kelly had a good game, and Yo was really strong through there as well. And I thought the ruck battle was good. So it was a great midfield battle. Like I said, I thought Caleb and Andy in particular were really good, and I thought Fifey's third quarter was really good, and I thought Youngie had his moments as well. So it was a good battle.
With Brayshaw and Reid, it seems like a fair bit of spice there.
I think Harley gives as good as he gets. And I mean, that's what happens in games where there's a lot on the line, big crowd, and both teams have been physical, and that stuff happens.
You haven't seen you lose your call all that often in the box. We saw it tonight when the Fife advantage call occurred. Take us into your head.
No, we just thought we had the game on our terms, and it just felt like we weren't getting bang for buck. And I think Jai tackled holding the ball, and we've been talking to Jai about being able to stay in the game when it's not working for you offensively and pressure, and he's had a couple of great moments against Hawthorn with the holding the ball, and it just would have been great for. We needed to get some bang for buck, and I felt the pressure of the game and let it slip there for a bit. I do that quite regularly. It just never gets caught on camera somehow, but maybe it got caught on camera tonight.
Is that a sign of where your side, I guess, is feeling that you're right up there, but these little moments are just sort of, holding you back a little bit?
A little bit, but I think every team goes through that. Like you don't always cash in on dominance, and don't always finish every goal. And I would try our best to take the scoreboard out of it. And like I said, the third quarter, the game was played where we wanted to play. We took away their ball movement. I think it was like 16 to 8 inside 50s for the quarter, but it felt like for the first 15, 20 minutes of the quarter, it was played in our half, and it just needed to make sure we got something out of that. I mean, 5-5 for the quarter to 1 point. It was dominant quarter, and it just felt like it should have been 7 or 8 goals.
Do you think a quarter like that really helps you heading into finals, that you can be challenged and then fight?
I think the game in general, to be honest, rather than just that quarter. Like I've said, I thought they brought a really strong game in the first half, and were able to weather the storm to some degree and regroup, and to be able to flip it on its head like we did in the third quarter was just a good sign of maturity.
You jump another cog on the ladder now. Teams are losing around you. There's pressure on everyone every single week. Do you feel like the stakes are rising every single game and you've stepped up to those stakes?
Possibly. Job's not done. We know that. Doesn't get any easier. There's going to be more pressure as the year builds, and whichever team handles that sort of outcome-based pressure and ladder pressure will, put himself in a really good position. So, like I said, great sign of maturity tonight, but get back on the horse next week and go again.